I'm still lost on why something as simple as a concept like family, when the men speak of it, it seems to always be pushed back from the women. I do definitely agree with Mike and also disagree with Jasmine to the standpoint that he wasn't speaking to you, Jasmine, and saying that you individually would not be open to those type of men. He's speaking to the problem. The problem is that there's an emphasis in our community that the women have this idea of what a man is, and they don't take into account internals of the man. He may be everything you need. He may not be what you want. That's just factual. But across all demographics, I yet to see an Asian couple that I'm like, oh, they're very handsome and she's very beautiful. Most of them is not attractive people. Indian people are not attractive freaking people. However, they're moving mountains in industry. We act like everything is high school, that if I'm pretty, he got to be super freaking handsome. That's a half the problem. And I'm saying in the community, I'm not saying you. I don't like being deduced as a black man down to a homosexual or a trans. I think that that's a waste of time. I think that's wasted energy. And I have no idea why our women spend so much energy promoting this nonsense, because it's not going to move the agenda. We're competing on a global scale, and the only global scale that matters is progress in economics. That's all that matters. All these subcategories of who wants to hump who and who cares? Get families in order, build back to what works and what's natural. It's really not that complicated. And we have a perfect opportunity, in my opinion, to build it the way we want. I think when our women hear marriage and relationships, it's like a knee-jerk reaction from a place of trauma, not understanding that you can create it the way you want. It's not necessarily just marriage, and then your marriage can look like you want or not marry. Who cares? But you need to have a network. I heard Ms. Pearl say that sometimes the women are afraid that the man's going to leave. Fair. But I think that we're not taught that what comes with him is not just him. Meaning, if you're aligning yourself with somebody, you should be looking at the network with the man, not just the man one-on-one. That's half the problem. We still look at relationships like just dating, not understanding that we're trying to bridge family. I connect with you. Who are you connected to? Just like Mike said, if I was without a job, I shouldn't be worried about a network if I'm linking up with you, because you got uncles and cousins and contacts that you made. That's what makes the community move. It's relational. It always will be relational. I think there was a comment that was said, we moved off of politics to relationships, because relationships is the only thing that matters. Politics don't exist without relationships, ever. And I'll land.
True. If trans women not safe, we not safe.
Nah,
Yes,
I don't.
that's true. So the question
I was
was,
joking. That was being facetious.
the question that I was responding to was like, what would be the first step? I was saying that I think the lack of family is a symptom of our problem, not the biggest problem that we have. And in politics, of course, I support the nuclear family. I think that it is the best thing that we can do. But I think in the political sphere, if we're talking about things, if we're turning a blind eye to certain people being hurt because they're other than us, because that person was hurt. We heard about this shooting, discrimination. Oh no, that wasn't FBA Americans. Those were Africans. So let their people handle that. Or a trans woman was found in a dumpster. Oh well, that has nothing to do with me. I'm worried about my people. But I was answering the question. I think the first step, in my opinion, for Black people in politics that care about politics, is to stop othering ourselves from other types of Black people, whether you agree with them or not. Because even in feminist spaces and in pro-Black spaces, a lot of people do not agree with me. Like there are people that in feminist spaces that are pro-sex work. I am anti-sex work. There are people that are pro-feminists that are pro-plastic surgery. I am anti-plastic surgery. I'm anti-abortion unless it's, you know what I mean? So it's like, but if I continue to, okay, well, no, I can't discuss with you, or no, I won't go and sit on city council with you. No, I'm not going to do this with you because you're a different type of girl, or you're a different type of Black person. I think in politics, it's important to stop othering ourselves. Like, because if those people are not safe that we consider other, then we are not safe.
So, Kia, a question for you. What can you say is one thing that all black people in America find as taboo? Like we all believe that it is wrong, and we all would agree with the punishment for it. Name me one thing that we all universally agree is wrong as a culture.
Um, witchcraft, it seems.
No.
No,
No,
child,
no.
child diddling.
These New Orleans women be practicing that shit, so we don't believe that.
Well, it is
The
frowned.
women love witchcraft. Y'all love
They
that
love
shit.
I'm
that.
assuming it's the
Stones,
anti-biblical.
crystals, y'all into that shit.
Is
Like,
that the
what?
anti? Oh no.
So
Is that the
basically, what
you're
I'm
looking for?
getting at, I'm sorry, I'm gonna land it.
Homosexuality?
What I'm getting at is that tribalism thing is not is gonna run rampant in the black community, because what we see, what you're asking for, these people, like let's say the Chinese, the Indian, they all rally under a culture, and that culture punishes. That's the point. It's a law. I'm sorry. Their culture is their law. We don't follow an established law in the black community in America. The women don't even want. We say family. Yeah. Well, no, but my independent. So you see what I'm saying? Listen, in some of these communities that I'm talking about, raising your child without a father is deplorable, and you will be punished and cast out of your family. We don't function under an established law like that. So it's never going to be one people until we do that. At least something that looks like, one people.
And the reason why I said that we go from politics to religion, I wasn't talking about the panel necessarily, but I was saying in general, when we're having conversations, it always goes from politics to like relationships. And the reason I say that is because everything is political. And then I understand that economics is very important. Again, I don't believe, like, how do I say this? I don't believe that, yes, we should learn how to survive within the system, but I think the system itself is broken. Malcolm X and James Baldwin both agreed that capitalism was a system that has expired, right? And I'm not saying I'm a communist or anything like that, but the system is broken and it's not fair. It's rigged for some people to die. It's rigged for some people to be oppressed. That is the way that it's supposed to be. Everyone cannot prosper under capitalism, especially late stage capitalism. It just can't happen. That doesn't mean that people shouldn't have a goal to be economically free. Like, I mean, of course you should. But again, I think when we're talking about politics, it goes so much deeper than family. And the reason I say that is because family is only a symptom of the bigger problem. The crack epidemic and the war on drugs and the welfare codes for like no man being in the house. Those are political. That was political legislation to separate the black man and the black woman. That is politics. So
yeah. So
like,
just real quick, to you said politics is more important than family, but why was the first political? Well, I'm sorry, you said family's not the most important, but why was
because
it it's not? Well, I'm sorry, I'm disagreeing that it's not. Why was the first thing they did to destabilize black people in general was to disband their family if family was not the most important thing?
Because again, I think it's well, I can't answer for their motive, but I was saying now there are so many other problems. And I think when these other problems are fixed, then we would want family. If black men were not, let me not try to separate men and women. If black people, if our literacy rate was higher, we probably would know how to talk to each other more.
Do you know why our literacy rate is low?
No daddies.
Because the dad is not in the home to help the mom, so she's not tired and she can read to the children.
But there are people in two-parent households and the parents can't read, so I don't understand.
But follow me. What I'm saying is that where are all the scholars coming from? Don't they tend to come from two-parent households?
No, that's not true.
Where did you get the people are in two-parent households where parents can't read? Where do you get that?
The average American reads on a third grade reading level. So that's most of the country, and out of all of those, black people have the lowest.
So how is that calculated? Does that take into account like people who English isn't their first language also and stuff like that?
It does.
Yeah. Yes, it's American-born citizens. Like,
the average American actually reads at sixth grade level. Then there is a like 54% reading at sixth grade level, and then there is a small percentage under that's reading at the third grade level. Yeah.
What do you think would happen if we took out what do you think would happen if we took out the single parent households?
So the thing is, 74% of Black people are raised by single mothers. So just like most Black people that are in jail are raised by single parents, most Black people that are in college are also single parents, because most Black people in America are raised by single like parents. So it's like, and typically it's the mother. Like,
and the average Black kid doesn't read on grade level.
Yeah,
right.
And well, I'm sorry, we have the lowest.
Average American child does not read on grade level, but of those American,
but we have the lowest
children. Yes, Black people are.
But
the lowest.
and I'm telling you, it's because what I'm saying is, it's not a coincidence that the people who have the lowest rate of marriage also have the most illiterate kids. It's directly correlated.
Correlation does not equal causation.
But in this case, it does.
It doesn't though, because there's no substantial thing to say that it does.
Well, what I'm saying is, listen, if we tag team anything, you don't think, and I'm actually advocating here, I'm saying you don't think a woman that has to go to work all day, that is single in the house with her 2 children, you think that she has time, or she's too tired to read to the kids? You don't think that's possible?
Well, I do think it's possible, but just because something is possible does not mean, like, that's a logical fallacy.